Hello guys, in this video I would like to show you how to create a secondary axis in the chart in Excel 2016 when you have a bulk data like here. So the data is being gathered in several columns. Each of them contains exactly 360 records, which corresponds to the latitude divided by 4 quarters, as you can see on your left. Each gray column has been used in our chart purposes. So let's have a look on the chart below. Chart is placed here. Basically, everything is here ready. However, we don't have both axes, which is highly recommended. It's highly needed for this chart because it's very big. We've got only one vertical axis and one horizontal axis, and we would love to have another two axes on our chart. So let's have a look. How can we do this? So that's a simple principle because you can only click on one of your record and select a secondary axis on your right sidebar. Then already instantly your another vertical axis has been created. Another horizontal axis you can create quickly by clicking plus on the top right side of your chart and develop the pop-up window, which is here, pop-up menu. Click secondary horizontal axis. Then your axis has been created and the problem has been initially solved. However, there are still things that we need to look at quickly. One of the things is synchronization between two vertical axes, which in this case works fine. As you can see, we've got values exactly the same on the same level on the both sides, shown by grid, which is correct. And another thing is the data pointed in our both horizontal axes, which are already completely wrong, especially our initial horizontal axis, which instead of our latitudes between 0 to 90 shows our single numbers from 1 to 360 single records, which is not correct. And top horizontal axis looks very congested. This issue we can quickly solve by clicking menu and by right clicking our mouse and select format axis. Then you can select axis options, especially tick marks and labels are important. Tick marks because we've got already 360 records, but latitude contains degrees between 0 and 90. Each single degree has been divided by 4 quarters, as I said previously. We need place number 4 here. Tick marks we can place inside, however, is not important for the time being. In the labels, we need to specify our interval units. As a default is placed 1, which automatically rectifies our axis. We've got this data sorted here, right? However, this problem is not been solved yet because still our initial horizontal axis is display wrong values. Moreover, the legend is in the wrong order. So we need to figure out what we have been done wrong so far, that our legend is wrong. First of all, we need to reselect one of our records. We need to always on the secondary axis should go the record as the highest one, record which is already placed underneath. This record, when goes as a secondary axis, is the best. So it's already been done, and you can see that the legend changed the order. The record, the lowest one, which we selected previously, we should bring it back to the primary axis. And then you can see some difference. Basically, our synchronization has been disrupted. That's easily noticed when you look on the data. All data placed in first axis looks the same, correspond to each other. However, this data placed in secondary axis is displayed on different way. So where the problem is? Problem is in this axis because the values has been changed as we placed in the highest record on the right. As we place the highest record on the secondary axis. So what we can do now, go back to our initial vertical axis and select the axis option and try to remember our values. Highly important here because these values correspond to the range which is shown by a single vertical axis, and this left axis shows values minimum from -500, maximum 2500, and units shown in major grids are placed for every 500 units and minor every 100. So try to remember these values, then select our right hand side axis and change these values as they stand in our left hand vertical axis. As you can see, some of them has been changed automatically. However, sometimes they are still not correct, so you need to pay attention what's happening here and make them exactly the same as in our initial vertical axis. And you can see now that synchronization is back. Our data correspond to each other. However, now we need to focus on our horizontal axis. Because first one looks correct, however, second one looks wrong. So we need to figure out where the problem is and why these values, not a proper latitude, has been shown on our newly created horizontal axis. So what we can do now, we need to select the data. The best way, select the data which has been placed on secondary axis. Click select the data and figure out what data are associated to wrong value. In our case, only the lowest value, -4, has a proper horizontal category here. However, for each single data, we must change this value. So we can easily do this by clicking Edit in horizontal category axis and select the range, which in my case will be latitude values shown on my left, as you can see now. Once I select all values, then I must click OK, and already here you go, everything looks fine, and I believe that in our case this horizontal axis should work. Let's have a look, does it work or not? If not, we need to click the data again and figure out again, because maybe some record doesn't meet the proper expectation. So we need to find which record is still displayed wrong. That's this record. So we need to repeat our process. Go to the latitude again, select them all, click OK, go OK again, and then back to our chart. As we can see, everything looks correct now, and our chart is ready for further customization. Thank you for your attention.